right, man, are you looking for God but can't seem to find him? You know, you've tried the mainstream modern day religions, you know, the Christianity, Islam, Judaism. You try to find God in these religions, can't seem to resonate with that version of God. So then you went over to maybe some New Age spiritualities to try to find God there. And you just notice it's just a bunch of chaos. There's no groundedness there either. So then you reject God altogether, and you try materialism and hedonism. You fall into hedonism, and that doesn't serve you either. Well, then you come to the right place, bro, because in this video, I'm going to explain to you a new paradigm of spirituality that can help you find God and relate to God, and ultimately find meaning and purpose to your life. Okay? In fact, this is not new at all. I'm going back to ancient principles anyways here. But I'm going to break it down in a way that's digestible and hopefully easy for you to understand. Okay? So first off, I want to start with the modern day religion perspective of God. Okay? This is like the mainstream monotheistic traditions of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and how they perceive God. And if you grew up in this tradition and it didn't resonate with you, I'm going to get into why it doesn't resonate with you and the issues that I see with it. Okay? Because the problem is, honestly, is people who grow up in this and it doesn't resonate with them, they end up rejecting God altogether. They might leave and say, I reject God altogether. But that's also a problem. Okay? Because God is very real in my opinion and in my experience. It's not even an opinion, it's in my experience. But this version of God is not real to me. Okay? So you can reject religion and still have a relationship with God. And in this video, I'm going to get into it. This might be long, I'm not sure. Get comfy, grab a cup of tea or something, and enjoy. Okay? I'm going to break it down right now. So first, let's start off with religion, aka elementary school spirituality, as I like to call it. Okay? This is how it goes, okay? You have God somewhere far up in heaven, somewhere far away, right? And then you have creation down here where we are. This is creation. And the whole purpose of this life that we're in is that we follow the rules and commandments of this God, so that when we go to our judgment day, you're either a good boy or you're a bad boy. And if you're good, you get to go enjoy these gardens forever. Enjoy it forever. But if you're bad, you're gonna go burn in a pit of fire for the rest of eternity. Okay? So you may ask, okay, like, sure, that might be life, that might be what this existence is. But how do we even know this? How do we even know this? Right? This is where it gets even more interesting, right? How we know this is this God handpicked some humans, some men, to speak to them, to give them this message, so that these handful of men down here, out of the billions of humans, I couldn't even draw billions of humans here, right? Out of the billions over the spans of time, you handpick a few humans, talk to them and tell them, hey, can you tell everybody else this is my message? And if they don't obey you, if they don't listen to you, they are disbelievers, they're bad. Now hold up, man. You're telling me if there is a chance that I burn in a pit of fire for the rest of eternity, mind you, I didn't even choose to exist, bro. I didn't even choose to be out here, man. I'm just out here. I just came to be, and you're telling me there's a chance that I'm gonna burn in a pit of fire for the rest of eternity? And the way that I know that is I have to listen to the word of these handful of men that I don't even know, who lived thousands of years ago in lands that I haven't even went to? And you're telling me this is an all-loving, this is a compassionate God. This is a very merciful and compassionate God. Bro, if this is an all-loving, all-compassionate God, and this is actually reality, there's a chance I burn in a pit of fire forever. Don't you think that this God would at least tell every human being the same message? Like, shouldn't I hear this message too at least once? So I know, like, that you might put me in a burning fire if this is a loving God. It doesn't make sense to me, man. So you have to put your entire faith, your entire perspective of yourself, of this existence, which is so magical and magnificent to begin with. You have to put it on the faith of these scriptures, or these men, these texts, or these people that you don't even know them. Your entire worldview is based upon that. This is this paradigm. It's this dualistic paradigm where God is all the way over there and I'm all the way down here. And this is a conditional love, right? This is not an unconditional love. So first and foremost, to me, this is detrimental to our psyches. Okay? Like, the impact that this has on one's psyche and development when they're developing as a child is now you're teaching the kid that, like, fear, guilt, shame, judgment, that this stuff is normal. These emotions are not normal. We're not supposed to feel these emotions. You know, these emotions are supposed to be rare. In fact, if you do feel these kinds of emotions often, then it means you're out of alignment with God. And we'll get into that here. Okay? And so how did this all come to be? How did this paradigm of God even come to be? And one thing you have to understand is this paradigm of God came to be during an age of empires. It came during, you know, when you have the Roman Empire and the Byzantine Empire and you have the Islamic Empire. So you have these empires that span such wide lands, such massive areas. And so how do you control the people? Right? Like, this is a challenge. It's a challenge. How do you control the people? It's you can get a massive police force, or you can have the people police themselves. You see, you implant this belief system into every human being. It's a fear-based system, right? There's ultimately fear at the core of it. And every human is essentially installed with this like a vaccine or something from when they're really young. And now you have the whole population of people surveilling themselves. They've created a concept of mind in their own head, and now they relate to that concept of God, and it's embedded into their nervous system, embedded into their unconscious mind. And now you don't have to worry about it. And then the humans who do notice this, call them the mystics, the Sufis, whatever. These people, there's a subgroup of people who could see through this. They have to go and make secluded communities, right? And if they come out to the public to speak the truth, they're exiled, they're assassinated, they're executed, whatever. The people in power want you to believe this. And so it goes from generation to generation to generation until today. And I'm going to say, you know, it's not all like, I'm not saying that these traditions, there's nothing useful in them. Of course, especially in the esoteric sides of them, there's a lot of useful and helpful wisdom and knowledge in there. But this general framework of how to relate to God is detrimental to the psyche and development as humans, and is completely out of alignment, actually, of how we're supposed to be living, I believe. Okay? Because now we're entering a new age, all right? We're entering the age of information. We're entering an age where our consciousness, every generation of humans that's being born has a more expanded state of consciousness. And so it's like trying to fit a massive ball inside this little cage. It doesn't work anymore. But this is the problem, is that people, when they think of God, they say, oh, I have to follow a religion. and then they see the religion, they're like, I don't resonate with this. So then they're like, oh, God must not be real. No, okay? God is real, but this is false, in my opinion, again, okay? So let's move over to the new paradigm, or the cosmic masterpiece spirituality, as I'll call it, okay? This is going back to ancient traditions of the East. And this is going to help us make sense of, okay, if we are humans and yeah, there is a God, how are we related to God? What's the relationship with God? What's the relationship with the rest of life, etc.? Okay? So here I started with a circle. And this circle is God. Also referred to as the self. Now God is a field, you know, it's like, imagine it's just an infinite field. And then from within this field emerges other selves. You have self. It emerges from within the field. And you have many cells. Okay, we're going to just and then actually, I'm not going to get into it in this video, but within each of these cells, you probably have other cells. Cells within. Everything is within it. Okay? Now, each of these cells is, let's say, of a different nature, of a different color. Okay? So we can take these and say, okay, you have these different colors. So you see God, everything, now starts to manifest in different colors, in different waves. And so you can think of it as, here, everything is in God, and God is in everything. In other words, you are in God, and God is in you. Okay? This will make sense with analogy. Let's take me. Let's take my body. Let's say in this universe that I'm creating, I am God. Okay? And now I have all these cells that make me up. I have heart cells, I have brain cells, I have skin cells, I have whatever, all these cells. Okay? And you can think of each of these cells as the different colors within me. You know, my brain cells are the green ones, my liver cells are the purple ones, etc. Now let's take a skin cell. Skin cells here somewhere, right? Let's say I am God, this whole being. Then this skin cell here is I am in the skin cell, I am in the skin cell, and the skin cell is in me. Does that make sense? In the same way that you are in God and God is in you. It's extremely intimate. You see, it is so intimate. The relationship with you and God, it's not like this, man. There isn't this big gap. There isn't this massive gap. It's extremely intimate. It's your very essence is God, just as that very essence of the skin cell or the heart cell within me, is the same essence within me. You see, the same essence emerges because it's all one being, just expressing itself, emerging from the field in different ways. Okay? So think of it, man. It's like God is painting this. This is why I call it the cosmic masterpiece, because it's like God is painting a masterpiece with all the creation that emerges from him. And we are all God in a different form. Our essence is God in a different form, just as my heart cell is a different expression of me, or that part of me, the spirit that's within me. It's all the same spirit. And it's like, it's like we're all playing a different key in the cosmic symphony. Shout out the philosopher, man. It's like there's this massive orchestra playing, and we're all playing a different key. And it's this beautiful balance between chaos and order. Music, there's an order to it, but there's also a chaos. And you see this in nature. You see this everywhere, right? Think about it. When you look at the solar system, when you look at the way that the planets move, the way that the moon goes through its cycles, waxes and wanes, there's a cycle, like a 28-day cycle with the moon, but there's a chaos to it a little bit. It's not just a full moon the whole time, right? So it's this balance between order and chaos. It's not a one-size-fits-all. If it was a one-size-fits-all, then there wouldn't be all this beauty. But this is what this paradigm of religion teaches. It's like a one-size-fits-all. It's like there's no room for chaos. From like each individual is supposed to be worshiping the same version of God. It's like everyone's playing the same note. It's like you go buy the tickets to the orchestra, you show up and it's just the same note the whole time. It's like, bro, give me my money back, bro. Give me my money back. I didn't pay for this. Right? So you can think of it as like God created us and God is creating through us. God created us and God is creating through us. And now this is where it gets really beautiful, okay? Because each of these colors, in the example of the body, right? Each of these are a different type of cell. From a human perspective, from humanity's perspective, each of this is like a different, you have a different dharma. You have a different purpose. You have a different meaning as to how you're supposed to contribute to this cosmic masterpiece. You see, like I said earlier, right? There is an order to everything. There's an order to everything. You can see it in the planets, and then if you go down, there's an order within your own body. It's like every cell knows what it needs to do. And that's how the organism, that's how the being functions properly, right? And it's the same way with us humans. It's just somehow when we go from the solar realm into our being, and then you look at humans, it's just chaos. We're just chaos, man. Everyone is just out here doing what the world told them to do, and they're completely out of alignment with their dharma. It's like, oh man, my parents want me to be a doctor, or my parents want me to be a lawyer. Oh, so you just go become a lawyer. The world told me it makes a lot of money. But that's not your dharma. That's not your essence. That's not what you were here to do. You see, each one of us is here to express a different color. And in another video, I can get into like the archetypes, right? The different colors, what they may represent. Are you a teacher? Are you a builder? Are you an artist? If you're a woman, are you a nurturer? Are you a community builder? These kinds of things. And you see in this paradigm, it's actually oneness. This is oneness. This is dualistic. They say these are monotheistic religions. It's monotheistic, no, it's dualistic, man. You've created two. You're saying you're separate from God. No, here it's a oneness. This is the true meaning of oneness. It's from the one emerges, everything is in the one. And the one is in everything. Okay? And here there is an unconditional love. You see, it's unconditional love because it's not about morality. There's no morality here. It's not about being good or bad. It's just about being yourself. Just be yourself. That is it. Here, the morality, it's just so detrimental, man. Stop moralizing your life. If there's one thing that you can do right after this video, is stop moralizing your life. You got to transcend beyond good and evil. Transcend beyond it. And instead of thinking about things as good and evil or right and wrong, think about it as, is it in harmony or out of harmony for you? Because you see, if you are blue, something that is in harmony for you could be out of harmony for someone who is yellow. Okay? So just think about it for you. Is it in harmony with you? Is it in alignment with you? Or is it out of alignment with you? Okay? So the next thing I want to get into is, okay, this is all cool, but how does this relate to being a human being? How does this relate to the human structure? Because you see, this is the self. That is the self. So now I'm going to get into the structure of a human being, what you are. Okay? So you got to understand. Oh, that's really ugly, man. One sec. I got to do that again. That's better. Okay. So you are a threefold structure. Okay? Every self actually is made up of a threefold structure. Okay? You have your spirit or self. That is this aspect of yourself, your color. So let's just say you're green. Okay? You have your green. This is the part of God that is lodged within you. You have your mind. And then you have your body. Okay? This is your body. This is your mind. You have your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. We won't get into that in this video. And then you have your spirit or yourself, or you can even call it like God within you. The piece, that part of you that is already in the one. Okay? This is you. You are this threefold structure. You are a mind, body, spirit complex. Okay? In alchemy, or in many traditions, this is symbolized in different ways. You see, in alchemy, they say it's salt, mercury, sulfur. You can even think of it as your elements, right? You have your earth element, you have your mind, which is your water element, and then you have your spirit or self, which is your fire element. And then what links them all? Air. Air is what links them all. And what is air? That's your breath. That's why the breath is so important. Breathe with me. Because the breath is what links it all together. Okay? So back to what we were saying. It's like, so you see now in this paradigm, each human, let's draw another human over here. Oh man, my drawing's so bad, bro. But let's say we have another human over here. This is a purple human. So within each human, there is a piece of God in there. But it's a different essence. So if you think back to my analogy of the body, it's like the heart cell is going to have a different aspect of God in there than the, let's say the brain cell. Purple is brain cell. Let me write that down. Right, so this is brain, heart. So in the old paradigm, right? In the old paradigm, you have one message. God is sending one message to these select humans, and this one message is supposed to be for all of humanity. And it's like a moralistic one. In this paradigm, God sends a different message to each being so that it knows how to fulfill its dharma or its purpose dharma, purpose, so that the cosmic symphony, the cosmic masterpiece, or the cosmic organism in this analogy functions properly. So in this paradigm, you don't need to go and read a book and read scriptures and whatever to know how you're supposed to live your life. In fact, you're supposed to throw away all the knowledge. You know, they say take the cup of knowledge and smash it till it's just you. And then you will hear that intuition. It speaks to you through your own intuition about like what is your essence, what is your purpose, what is your sva dharma, which is your personal dharma. So that you play the role that you were designed to play. And the most beautiful thing about it is that once you identify your dharma, which is, you know, it's not necessarily, it can be challenging, it can be very easy, but it's actually the thing that is the most natural to you. It's the thing you actually enjoy doing the most. It's what you were designed to do. So once you identify it, then I lost my train of thought. Anyways, once you identify your dharma, then you know your purpose. You know this is what you were designed to do, right? And the most beautiful part about it is that that thing is something that comes naturally to you and you enjoy doing it, and it serves the whole exactly as it was meant to, right? So let's say you're a heart, in the analogy of the body and my cosmic organism here. The heart cell, there is a piece within the heart cell that says, be a heart cell. In the brain cell, there's a piece within it that says, be a brain cell. So there's a different message going to each element, each aspect, depending on its nature, as opposed to this paradigm where it's the same message for everyone. And you see, in this one, it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm not saying like be good, be bad, right? Like let's say I am God and this is my organism, right? And there's a message put for each different type of cell, right? I'm not saying be a good heart cell or else. No, just be a heart cell. Or this guy, just be a brain cell. And the better of a brain cell you are, the happier I am. But I love you no matter what. Because just play your role. That's it. And it's the easiest thing for you. Because the heart cell, if the heart cell is all confused and it thinks it's in the brain, like in this paradigm, no one's telling you what you want to do. They tell you God is outside of you, not to listen to your own intuition about God. God doesn't speak to you directly in this paradigm, whereas here God does. So you fall into the risk of essentially being the type of cell that you're not supposed to be. There's a chance for it, but you say, I'm good, right? So let's say the heart cell is confused. It thinks it's a brain cell. It thinks it's a brain cell. So it's in the brain. The heart cell is in the brain. It's like, oh, but I'm a good heart cell. I'm good. No, but you're still screwing up the entire organism, man. You're still screwing up the whole thing. And that's what's happening in the world today. You see, moralistic religion, moralistic spirituality has essentially screwed up the entire organism, because you have people orienting themselves towards their own salvation through moralism, which is also like a very kind of selfish perspective. What that's causing is it's causing the organism to malfunction, right? Because now you have someone who, let's say you're someone who, you're green, and green means to be an artist. You're supposed to be an artist, man. You have this natural gift to bring through your inner world into the outer world in a way that uniquely like brings to life the inner world of other people, and they're not able to do it in that way, right? You have this unique gift, but maybe you don't even know, like maybe you know you have this gift, but because of how the world programmed you and conditioned you, by the time you're in university or whatever, let's say you're doing pre-med, you're going to become a doctor, you're going to go through medicine, and then you become a doctor and you become this great doctor, and then, but you're in this moralistic framework, so you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm a good person and I'm a doctor, but there's still this part of you, this dissonance, this part of you that's like I'm not really fulfilled. And it's because you're living out of alignment with your dharma, your artistic nature. So that's why moralism doesn't solve this problem. And so now you have this heart cell in the brain, and the whole organism is screwed up. Bro, we're in the ICU, man. We're in the ICU. If we had to make a cosmic organism of the human state today, it's in the ICU, bro. It's like you have people who are supposed to be like the best builders, artists or whatever, but they're like sitting behind a computer desk somewhere, doing something else, or whatever. You know what I'm talking about, right? And in this paradigm, right, each person can worship God in a different form. You see, in a different form. And this is what you see in the East, in the Sanatana Dharma, in Hinduism, right? You see all these different gods. The idea is you're worshiping the same God, but in a different form, right? So let's say in the analogy of the body, right? So you have the heart and the brain, and I'm God. It really doesn't matter to me if the heart cell worships me in the form of a heart, and my brain cell worships me in the form of a brain. It really doesn't matter to me. I really don't care, right? All that matters to me is the heart cell is a heart cell and the brain cell is a brain cell. Whatever it needs to do to get that done is cool with me. I'm all loving, man. I love the cells no matter what. It's an unconditional love, right? Whereas here in this paradigm, it's like monotheistic God is like, no, like worship me alone. And if you don't, it's like, that's not love, man. That's like a insecure God. That's the beauty of this paradigm, is it can be polytheistic, right? From this lens, but it actually allows for a more harmonious cosmic dance. You see, the heart cell worshiping me in the form of a heart, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what form it worships me. Whatever gets it to do its dharma is cool with me, right? And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's not a one size fits all. And in that, in the freedom to see it, to worship God in whatever form you want, it actually contributes to the cosmic harmony. Whereas in this version, where everyone has to worship the same God, it doesn't contribute to the cosmic harmony. It creates this overly ordered structure, and there's no room for chaos. Right? And so, like, just a couple things to wrap it up, man. Like, in this paradigm, there's this concept of like sins and deeds, right? This idea of you're good, you're on the mark, or a sin is you are off the mark. But it's treated as good or bad. In this paradigm, it's not about good or bad. It's, are you in alignment with your dharma, or are you out of alignment with it? When you take an action towards it, you are on the right path. And then when you take an action that's out of alignment with it, you are committing a sin. You are going off of the mark. And so I understand in the world today, it's very difficult, right? You can't just drop it all and say, oh, I'm supposed to be this artist or whatever. But there's always a way to incorporate it into your life, because it invigorates you. It's going to invigorate you. Whatever it is, it can be anything. And only you can identify it by going into yourself, not looking outside of yourself. Okay? So this is what it means, like if you want to have this concept of sins and deeds, I'm not a fan of it, but think about it. You're either in alignment or you're taking actions out of alignment. And how you know if you're in alignment or out of alignment is your state of being. Are you excited about life? Or are you not? It's that simple. Right? And in this paradigm, you have the ideas of heaven and hell and the judgment. I would reframe it in this paradigm. You can reframe it. This is, again, I'm not a fan of this at all, clearly, as you can tell. But you can reframe it. Heaven and hell are states of being. You can just think of it as, are you in a peaceful state or are you in a suffering state? Just think of it like that. When you're in alignment with your Dharma, you're going to be in a peaceful state internally because you are doing what you were designed to do. But if you're in a suffering state, then it means that you've designed your life so that there's no room for you to express yourself in the way that you naturally, innately want to. There's something blocking you, and it's usually fear, hive mind thinking, right? How the society really like has this hive mind where it's really hard to break out and become your own unique self. But that's why this work is so important. And so I'm going to end it with a quote from the Gita. And the quote is, "It is better to fail in one's dharma than to succeed in someone else's." Okay? I'll say that again. It is better to fail in one's own dharma than it is to succeed in someone else's. So I hope that this video, gave you a new perspective and perhaps a different understanding of how to relate to God and this intimate relationship that we have with Him, if you want to use a pronoun. How intimate this relationship is and how divine this entire life is. Like, where there's no separation, it's all one. It's a one big dance. And so I implore you to, next time you go out, is to try to see God in everything and see everything in God. Next time you look in the mirror, see God in you and see that you are in God. Make it alive. It's very alive. Hear God in the birds. See God in the sun. Like, just make it intimate. And understand that you are playing a specific key in the cosmic symphony, man. With that, have a wonderful rest of your day. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, share. I appreciate it. Take care of yourself.